This is me being overly optimistic because it's February. It's actually February, the February date. Licks, Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, a couple hours till the game. I don't know. I think I'm about 4 weeks too early. We'll see what happens. So I thought I was 4 weeks early, more like 8 weeks early. They say March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. I haven't seen the lamb yet. I've seen a lot of seaweed. It's been a really rough surf. There's been a lot of wind coming out of the south, and it's just not been really good surf fishing. So at least I can get invited to an oyster roast. Here's Captain Jerry at the oyster roast, obviously explaining how big a puffer he caught there. And here are the oysters being roasted. This was at Jim White's house. Thank you, Jim. We had a great time. We got to eat a lot of oysters and talk to a lot of people about fishing and the fake stories they tell. And a lot of good side items there. I just had a blast. So if you can get invited to an oyster roast by this guy, I suggest you go. Especially if you're not catching anything in the surf. So I did try to get out, and this was like Saturday, and finally had a beautiful day, but it was still kind of rough in the surf, so I decided to go down to the point, and I brought every bait. I had fish bites, I had fish gum, I had fresh shrimp, and I even caught some fiddler crabs here. I'm like, I'm going to catch a fish. Now, specifically, I wanted to target black drum. I just had some, I'd take a red drum, but I kind of felt like there'd be some black drum out there. But I can't even get my rod. Like, this is what happens when you haven't fished for a couple of months. You don't even know how to handle your reel and get the line out. While I'm struggling with this, we went fishing with Vance, and he hooks into a real big fish. I can't even get my line in the water. This is what a bad March I'm having here. And he got one, but unfortunately for him, the fish got off. So, that's always a disappointment, especially when your rod's bending over like that. Luckily, I hooked into something really quickly, and of course, it is my favorite fish, the croaker. And then the smallest croaker, I probably should just thrown it back out and been like, here's my bait, because this is like a 3-inch croaker on a little piece of shrimp there, but he's going back in the water, and I continued to be successful there, catching croaker after croaker after croaker. Now, this one's way bigger. He's probably 4 inches. Here it is to prove that croakers are all head. Look at the size of his head. There's no meat. Look, it's just all giant head. That's why one reason I don't like croaker. But you know who had fun? Bailey had some fun because she got to run and play in the sand and the surf while and catch the ball and jump and swim in the water while Vance was detained by the patrol there. Do you have a fishing license, sir? Can I see that? And then Kim decided she's going to do what she loves to do, which is to dig in the mud. and she found a clam. So we were all excited. Now, the thing about Kim is once she gets into something, she doesn't stop. So for like the next 7 hours, she kept digging in the mud, and we got a whole bunch of clams. So we're going to make some clams casino for dinner. I feel like they're putting them in, just washing them off, putting them in the cooler. But we did want to get some lunch. So since we were on the boat, we decided to go over to the Lonerider, and they do have a restaurant docking right there, so you can dock your boat. Now, this was extremely low tide. Look at this ramp. We're like, guys, you have fun trying to get up the ramp. I'm going to go eat go eat some lunch. And the thing about it is, Lonerider is you have a couple of things going for you. One, it's really nice. You can sit outside, and Bailey can come, and you can overlook the water, which I'll show you in a minute there, which is kind of nice. And they have fish bites, and they have pretzels, and they have fish and chips. No fish tacos, but they do have some of these other tacos, which also look pretty good. Plus, they do have one of my favorite IPAs, which is the IPA for Outlaws or something like that. Something for Outlaws. And Bailey was like, I would like my hamburger now. So we ordered. I did get the fish and chips. We got her a baby hamburger, and everybody else got the big hamburgers, the big people hamburgers. So really good food. And like I said, you're just kind of looking over. They got new boat slips there, and just get a nice little view there. Probably be nice if there was actually some water out there because it was such a low tide. But anyway, got a really good lunch. I recommend checking out the Lonerider there. The only bad thing is no fishing from the dock. Come on, what's that about, dude? So it was such low tide, I couldn't get the boat back. So I dropped everybody off and decided to just spend a little bit of time in the Davis Canal. And of course, I pulled in everybody's favorite fish, croaker. Yeah, this is my favorite fish. And then but I was determined. I knew that if I stayed there long enough, I would get Another croaker. And I caught a lot of croaker, but I didn't show you all of them because all it would be is me holding up. This is actually kind of a big one. Look, he might be 6 inches. Finally, the rod bent, and I knew, oh yeah, look, that tug, tug, tug. There is nothing like catching a black drum, people. If you've never caught a black drum, some people just overlook them. I think they're delicious, and I think they're great fighters. And so this guy, you can see him tugging. He's going under the boat here. Look at him. And he's not a huge one either. He was 15 inches when I got him out, but I'm like, I'm going to take this guy home for dinner because I've been catching croaker all day, and this is exactly what I wanted. And I'm fine to just catch one good fish, and just take him home and make some meals out of them. So we're going to have chicken amandine and the Clams Casino for dinner. And it is delicious. This is probably one of the best meals my wife makes. And I thought I had a video showing how to cook this recipe, and I don't. So I wish I had filmed it, and I will, but I'm going to substitute.
This one, baked black drum in a lemon cream sauce. Here's the ingredients. I got some butter. I got some garlic. I got myself some half and half. Would have been better with cream, but that's all I had. Some Dijon mustard, and I've got some lemons and also some lemon juice because I'm going to use a little bit more lemon juice than I can get out of that 1/2 lemon. I filleted the black drum, got 2 nice pieces here in the baking pan, and I had a little olive oil on the bottom. And I'm just going to put some salt and pepper on the fish itself. Always season high. This salt is from Turks and Caicos. We got this out of the salt mines ourselves. So really good salt and just Food Line pepper. But anyway, let's start with making this sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do is pour the butter in there. Now I already kind of melted it a little bit. I'm going to melt it a little bit more in a minute, but I got it in there. And I'm going to add that, and I'm going to add a little bit of the cream, which half and half in this case, but just not a whole lot, just a little bit. Got to throw my garlic in there, all chopped up and finely minced, ready to go. And then I'm going to grab some of my Dijon mustard. It's just a little squirt here, not a whole lot. Now look, I'm not telling you the exact amounts because I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go. I just know these ingredients. And I squeezed the lemon in there, and I threw just a little bit extra lemon juice out of a bottle, but just to give it a little bit more. I need a little bit more liquid in there. I'm going to take this whole mixture right here, and I'm just going to put it little salt, little pepper. Again, back to my Turks and Caicos salt. Season high, people. There it is. I'm going to put this whole bowl in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to get the rest of that butter melted. And I'm going to bring it out. There you go. Totally melted. Stir it up. Now, let me tell you something. Half and half and lemon don't really stir up well. Curdle a little bit. But that's not a problem because when it bakes, that all goes away. I was a little nervous, to be honest with you, but it all goes away. And I'm just pouring that on top of the filleted black drum. That's it, my friends. I'm going to take this, get the rest of that mixture on there, put this my lemons, top it off with some lemons because it just looks cool with lemons, right? So lemons make it all taste good. I'm going to take this whole baked pan, stick it in the oven. I got the oven fairly high, about 390, and I had to leave these in. I was going to put them in for 10 minutes. I put it in for about 15 because it was pretty thick pieces of black drum. I'm patting myself on the back. I made it with Spanish rice. Probably not the best choice. It would have been better with white rice, but that's just what I had in the pantry. Pour some of the sauce on there. Send it to my wife. She'll love it.